Let's bring in Executive Director of Australia Institute, Richard Dennis. Richard, good to see you. So how do you see it? Is the government addressing the big problems Australia faces?
Look, the government's got some big numbers in the budget, but they're not actually getting to the root cause of the big problems. Things like inequality, access to housing, and of course climate change. There's no actual solutions to those problems in the budget, but what the government's clearly trying to do is spread a lot of cash around to help the millions of Australians who are struggling with cost of living.
Phil Curry writes a great article this morning saying that it was like the government and the Treasurer went 2 years on a diet and then after 2 years got presented with a bucket of KFC and went nuts. I mean, how is it going to affect inflation, push inflation down?
Look, I don't think it's going to have that big an effect on inflation. They have spent a bit of money because we are in the middle of a cost of living crisis. And frankly, if they hadn't, imagine the criticism they'd be getting today. The government's running a small budget surplus. They're predicting inflation to continue to fall. The RBA is predicting inflation to continue to fall. So I don't think we have to worry too much about the inflation. But underlying, there are some deficits going forward. And, you know, if this is a pre-election budget, there's not going to be a lot of big spending in the next election.
They're also concerned about a softening jobs market going forward as well, and there isn't much of an increase to job seeker.
Well, that's right. While some people are worried about inflation, myself and other economists are worried about a softening labour market. And yeah, look, it's a very, very expensive time to be an unemployed Australian. And there still are hundreds of thousands of Australians out there living on the very meagre unemployment benefits. And they're competing for the same, rising rents and rising grocery prices that everyone else is experiencing.
And it's only getting harder with the net rate of immigration at the moment too.
Well, that's right. There's a lot of pressures on housing. There's a lot of pressures on other things. And really, I think the missed opportunity for the government was to actually pick some big priorities and say, look, we're going to spend more on this and less on this. I mean, there was nothing in the budget to curb, for example, $14 billion worth of fossil fuel subsidies. And of course, we've just had the stage 3 tax cuts. They were improved on the first draft. High income earners just got $4,000 tax cuts. Great for them. But apparently we can't afford to increase unemployment benefits. That's not about afford, that's about priorities.
All right, good to talk to you, Richard. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to keep up to date with all our latest research and work, sign up to our newsletter. Delivered every fortnight, it includes behind-the-scenes updates from Richard Dennis, an exclusive cartoon from Judy Horacek, details for our upcoming events and webinars, as well as explainers, graphs, and not to mention the latest cutting-edge research and analysis from the team here on the key issues that are facing Australia. Click the button on your screen to check it out.